Hi, my name is patient Zeon. I'm going to be dissecting the brain, which is a practical. Um, Now I'm going to list a various portion of the brain. To begin with, I'm going to start with the dual matter, which is not on the brain, and then the palm, which cover the surface, like the outer portion of the cerebrum, which is right here. I'm going to be using my palm to describe the outer portion of the cerebrum, which is the palm matter. And then after the palm matter, we have the cerebrum, which is the larger portion of the brain. The cerebrum, which is the larger portion of the brain, is like this, the larger portion of the brain. And then to the cerebrum, I have the sockets, like the growth between, like on the cerebrum, the spacing line, which is the sockets. And then I have the gyra, is like a hair portion of the brain. The gyra, which is right here, the hair portion of the brain. And then on the brain, I have the cerebellum, which is right here, and then we have the cerebral cortex, which is on the cerebrum. Within the cerebral cortex, we have the great longitudinal fascia, which divides, we separate the brain into left and right hemisphere of the cerebrum. And then I'm going to go to I'm going to describe the loop of the brain, which have which have 4 loops. And then the first one I'm going to begin with, the first one of the loop is the frontal loop. The frontal loop, which is the anterior part of the brain, and its function is like planning, higher level processing. And then dorsal to the frontal loop is the parietal loop. Parietal loop right here is the parietal loop, which is it had to do with the spatial memory and sensory processing. And then inferior to the parietal loop is the inferior to the parietal loop is the temporal loop, which had to do with our auditorium, which had to do with our ear. And then I have the occipital dorsal to the parietal is the occipital loop. The occipital loop has to do with our vision, our visual processing. It has to do with our eyes, stuff like that. And then I'm going to turn the brain over to the inferior part, which is the visual portion of the brain. I'm going to start with the olfactory bulb, which is right here. And then opposite the olfactory nerve, we have the olfactory bulb, we have the optic nerve right here. From then the optic nerve, I have the optic triacin. The optic triacin right here. I have the optic triacin right here. The optic triacin is the crossing point of the optic nerve. And then after the optic triacin, I have the brainstem right here. The brainstem, which is also the midbrain. The brainstem, which is also the midbrain, is located between the palm and the medulla oblongata. So after the midbrain, the brainstem, after the midbrain, I got the palm. The palm is right here. The palm, which help control our breathing, is right here. And then after the palm, we got the medulla oblongata, we have to do is our reflex center. It have to do with coughing, sneezing, vomiting, and it also have to do with our respirator, and then our blood pressure, heart rate, blood pressure, everything. And then after the medulla oblongata, I have the spinal cord right here. So I'm going to turn the brain over to the mid surgical portion of the brain. The mid surgical portion of the brain. Right here, I have the the corrosum, the corporal callosum, and then after the corporal callosum, I have the spartum. I have the spartum pellucidum, and then from the spartum pellucidum, I have the thalamus. The thalamus right here. The thalamus is responsible for our sensory. It's like a sensory relay center for motor and sensory information. So beneath the thalamus is the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus, it contributes controls our body temperature, and emotional behavior. And then right near the thalamus is the pineal body. The pineal body is responsible for our sleep awake cycle. Pineal body is responsible for our sleep and awake cycle. And then right here, I have the midbrain. From the midbrain, I have the midbrain, which is the brainstem, which is the midbrain as well. I have the palm, and then I have the medulla oblongata right here, and then I have the brainstem. And then in the cerebellum, I have the apovita, which is the branching structure. It's like a tree leg. Is located right in the cerebellum, which is also the white matter. And then at the frontal lobe, I did a dissection on the frontal lobe as well. So the frontal lobe, it shows the gray matter as well. Thank you. This is end of my video.